Hey everyone, welcome back to another reaction/analysis of the Chaotix Casefiles. Today we're taking a look at episode 7, the case of the Red Specter part 1. Now, full disclosure, I am filming this closer to when the second part of this case releases, so episode 8 comes out very soon at the time that I'm recording this. So I do unfortunately already know the big reveal of this episode, but it's also kind of, I would consider it to not be that big of a reveal, if only because if you watched episode 6, you already know that I already had predicted what was about to happen. Now, I will say that the one thing that did get spoiled for me was the change in performance. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'll just leave it at that. But that was the one thing that I did not anticipate or see coming. But what the big reveal is, I already suspected, so it wasn't that big of a reveal to me. It was just very nice confirmation. But you also might notice that this episode is probably a little longer than the other ones. At least I'm assuming it's going to be. And that's because I'm going to be uploading this in full. Now, unfortunately, I did record the past episodes and edited them down because I thought that was probably what was going to be the best viewing experience, I suppose. But I did get a lot of people asking me and some people even complaining that they wanted to see my full reaction to the thing, and I guess that's what this is going to be today. I'm still going to edit when I do like pause or whatever, and for the sake of like cleanliness, I suppose, just so that like there are as few pauses and like dead air as possible. But I am going to keep in the full like reaction this time around. I haven't done it yet, but I will be uploading, and they maybe should be up by the time that this video comes out, uploading the full reaction to previous episodes. They're going to be linked in the description of those videos as unlisted videos, so you can go watch that if you are so interested. Otherwise, let's get right into episode 7, the case of the Red Specter part 1. You wouldn't wanna miss when the Chaotix are on the case.
So yeah, that's when I woke up here, caged inside of a forgotten Eggman base, and with world-renowned hero Sonic the Hedgehog already locked up too. Which reminds me,
how did you get?
You ask,
yeah,
Sonic, how'd you let Eggman get the drop on you anyway?
Zigged when he should have zagged.
Rodent, why did you explain the circumstances that resulted in your incarceration?
Oh, is this gonna be a Sonic story?
Help from Tails.
Okay.
Or at least I thought it was Tails.
Oh.
He's getting pretty good at taking care of himself, so it had to be serious if he was calling me.
Right.
So I came out to check and found someone who looked like him, except it wasn't him.
Right.
Because next thing I know, I got zapped by one of Eggman's ray guns and woke up here.
Okay, weird.
Wait,
but so is
you
Eggman
got lured into a trap?
Is Eggman
by
working?
someone masquerading as someone you know? But Dr. Eggman, you're not you can't be the lens thief.
No.
Your understanding of the situation is as limited as your vocabulary.
Well, then why did you
I
what?
know words.
Elegantly put. No, Gumshoe, I'm not the one who's been absconding with your precious artifacts, but I
Right.
do have something in common with them. And
Oh.
thanks to you, now I can capitalize on the situation.
Okay.
Because you see, I've had this the whole time.
That's the last lens.
Oh.
You bet your tacky headphones it is, Crocodile. Now, you
Hey, I
were,
think they're pretty cool,
believe,
actually.
about to reveal the identity of the thief who's been making off with all the other lenses. What was that? Sage.
Yes, Doctor.
What was that disturbance?
Is this actually the Sage?
Something appears to have tripped the perimeter defense in Sector 3.
Why do I feel like that's not actually
Space is
Sage?
impregnable, but if your little cohorts insist on flinging themselves into it like bugs against a windshield, I suppose the least I can do is go.
That's the thing, I can't trust anything anymore. I don't.
Put you two. That never gets old.
I believe this is Eggman, I believe this is Vector, I believe this is Sonic, but
Eggman had the last lens?
How could I have known he had the last
hell
lens,
no, bro.
Sonic?
What are you talking about?
In any case, were you serious when you said you knew who the actual thief was?
He has to. There's no way he doesn't.
I don't want Sage to overhear me if I can help it.
I think Sage knows.
Infinite.
Infinite?
Yes.
Espio, Charmy, I knew you'd come for us. The Chaotix Detective Agency, together again.
Yeah, Espio showed us how to sneak in. Plus, we brought Tango and Whisper and Tails, too.
I don't believe you.
Would have been a lot more difficult without Tails providing a distraction.
I don't believe you.
Five explosions were impressive. Oh, thanks. Whisper.
But how? Eggman said this base was impregnable.
Well, let's just say, when it comes to genius inventions, looks like it's Tails 1, Eggman 0.
Okay.
Hey,
Sure.
Sonic, you okay?
Yeah, a little worse
Okay,
for
that
wear,
sounds
but
like Tails.
nothing I can't run off. Now, if you guys will please just get us out of here.
Hey, SBO, a little help?
On it. I can pick these locks. It'll only take a couple minutes.
We may not have a couple minutes.
I know. Eggman could return any second. I'll hurry.
Or Tails could bomb the locks.
Well,
Or
Tangle,
that.
we can either do it quiet, or we can do it fast.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Eggman probably already knows you're here. He's got his creepy AI kid Sage monitoring the whole base.
Let's go for fast then. Tails, want to do the honors here?
Sure thing, Sonic.
I bet like Tangle and Whisper are like, what? AI kid?
After that big distraction I said earlier, there's only enough material left to get one of you out.
Oh, are they not locked up together? I thought they...
Tails, you bust Sonic out with a bang. SBO, time to show off your lock-picking skills.
My understanding was that they were locked in
Tails?
together in the same cell.
Busting bomb coming up. Tangle, stand back, please.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Just a second ago, you were saying the real lens thief is infinite? As in the super bad news former mercenary Jackal, who used to be
Yeah.
Eggman's right hand?
Yes,
Yeah.
right. The file name is what tipped me off. Red Specter. Sonic, what's another name for Spectre?
I know, Phantom, you said that. But how's...
Really?
Ruby Red Specter,
Oh, Sonic.
Phantom Ruby.
Sonic.
Exactly. When Infinite had the Phantom Ruby, he used it to create all
Come
sorts
on
of
now.
fake versions of stuff. Something like the astroscopic lenses would be right up his alley. Because it seems like they do sort of the same thing.
Oh, I was like, what's the relevance? Like,
One lens let him pretend to be Tails so he could capture Sonic.
Hey, okay, no need to rehash irrelevant details.
oh, okay,
Anyway,
I didn't...
If Infinite found another
Gotcha.
lens out in the wild somewhere.
That's how he's pretending to be other people, while he's stealing the rest of them.
Okay, but what happens if Infinite gets all the lenses? Would that make him as powerful as he was when he had the Phantom Ruby?
Is that the sound of the
That power shall be mine.
Eggman? Since when did you start just appearing from out of nowhere?
Because
Since
that's
I
not
gained
him.
Possession of this splendid lens artifact.
Oh?
Detective.
It just lets you
And now that
chaos
you've
control?
supplied the last piece of the puzzle, namely Infinite, I'll have no trouble commanding my former subordinate to hand over the rest.
I am very happy that this is confirming, because for a while, right, forces came and went. I'm sure in the comics it was the same thing, right? Like it came and went. Infinite was never spoken of again, or like he was only referenced probably in passing, right? Like they would talk about the war or like reference the events of Forces, since I think Forces was like a huge part of IDW in terms of where it began, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong about that. But it was never really clear, at least to me, that Infinite was dead, right? Like it always seemed more like he was defeated and that like his sort of ghosty, sort of like glitchy effect from the Phantom Ruby let him escape, right? But it never seemed to me back in Forces that he was dead. It never read to me like that was what happened. To me, it only read as he was defeated. And so I'm really glad, because I feel like they were kind of trying to establish or like leave that open, right? Where it's just like, oh no, he's not dead. He's just, you know, they beat him, right? And I mean, damn, Forces came out in 2017. This is almost a decade later. This is almost 10 years since, jeez, that's crazy. Almost 10 years since Forces came out. And this is the first time we've seen any new Infinite thing, and this is pretty exciting. It's pretty, I don't know. I've always thought of Infinite as a character who has a lot of potential, right? And I mean, again, I think I said this in a different episode, but this series is marred by the potential, right? It's always could be, but never is. Infinite is another aspect of that where like if you did something with him right, it could be such a good story. And I mean, granted, this is kind of part of it, right? But this is also taking Forces into consideration. This is not divorced from Forces. Forces is very pivotal in terms of how this story kind of flows. Not only because of Tangle and Whisper and their involvement with the Sonic cast, but because you kind of need to know the relevance of Infinite, the relevance of the Phantom Ruby, to really understand what it is the astroscopic lens does. And so you can't have the Chaotix Casefiles without the story of Forces. And so I feel like that's maybe one of the good things that came from Forces, is that, like, I think that in terms of a story and in terms of a setup, Eggman taking over the world, Infinite, the Phantom Ruby, all of those things were things that had a lot of promise. It just wasn't executed well in Forces. And I think that there's always, especially with Sonic, right? I feel like there's always an opportunity for redemption. Like, you can always take a character that sucked and do something better with them. And I feel like that's not constrained to any one, unless like that character is somehow just completely irredeemable and like you would have to fully change what that character is like to make the character work. I think that there's anything you can do. I mean, huge aside, right? I think Frontiers is a kind of good example when it comes to a character like Tails, who has been written by so many different people, right? And they acknowledge that he has been written very inconsistently throughout the series, because sometimes he is the little brother character, sometimes he's the little kid, sometimes he's the super genius that constructs robots and airplanes and whatever, right? Sometimes he's very confident in himself, sometimes he needs to find that confidence, sometimes he has no confidence, right? People can't really land on where they want this little kid character to be. But I think that there's always room for shifting that trajectory. Because for Tails and Frontiers, like, we know, and the Chaotix Casefiles is kind of softly continuing, oh, not softly, but like it is indirectly continuing that. Like, oh, he's grown a lot in the years since Infinite whatever, and that's kind of a reference to Frontiers, where he says that he wants to go and do things by himself for a little bit. So that is the character trying to grow. And I think of characters like Elise, right? I don't think that it's out of the question for Elise to come back. They would just need to update Soliana and find a new story for Elise to take part in. Mephiles was done really well in Shadow Generations, even though that isn't like a redoing of the character or like shifting the character's trajectory. It's more so like a continuation of what happened after those events. Shadow kind of goes a little in Shadow the Hedgehog in his own game. It was kind of like you weren't entirely sure what his stance was, and then Shadow Generations kind of like steadies that, where you're like, okay, now we know for sure where he stands on this situation. And so I feel like any character, no matter how poorly they were written in the past, if they have the potential to be a great character, you can always just do it again in the next game, right? I already predict that people are going to use, like, the Deadly Six as an example of characters that can't be done well, and I personally disagree. I think that Zavok and Zaz, because they're the ones that are mostly, like, reused as Zeddy, they're characters that I would disagree they can't do well. I think they can do awesome things with the Deadly Six. They just haven't, and that's very disappointing, because I think that they are, for all intents and purposes, interesting characters. They just need to be fleshed out more, have a better, more focused goal than just be the bad guy, right? But I do think that there's a lot of promise with the Deadly Six. You can do something interesting with them. They just haven't. And so I'm very excited to see where they go with Infinite and the astroscopic lens. I'm fine with this plotline too, right? To get rid of the Phantom Ruby, because they kind of had to, right? There's no way that they were going to save the world and take the world back from Eggman if there were still Phantom Ruby prototypes, whatever, still around for Eggman or whoever to use. So it's a matter of, like, I kind of like the explanation. It is a little like, oh, that's convenient, right? But at the same time, it's like, well, it kind of has to be a little convenient, right? I think that there's room for that criticism of it being convenient, but still giving it enough grace to be like, okay, fine. Where the astroscopic lenses essentially kind of do the same thing the Phantom Ruby did. Not exactly, though, because the Phantom Ruby allows you to create illusions, and the rules around it were just kind of weak, and like, the way that it was explained, at least in the game, was kind of shaky. I didn't love it, right? Because you might as well have just made actual, like, I don't know, zombie copies, right? I don't know why it had to be illusions that are not real, but still real enough that, like, whatever. I feel like it's a silly explanation. Whereas the astroscopic lenses make a bit more sense in that, like, it's not that you're creating new characters or anything. You're not creating illusions that are physical but not real. This is literally, you're using the lenses to alter your appearance. It's still an illusion, and it's still copying the appearance of someone else, of someone that we know. And so you can always be on your toes. You can never know for sure what's going on. And again, that illusion aspect holds up, but it's a lot more concise, right? And especially with Eggman like teleporting now with the use of them, that's something else that's like, okay, interesting. That seems more concrete and better written than the Phantom Ruby was. I like that they're sort of reintroducing it, but altering it to make it better explained as another item entirely. I think that was probably the best thing they could have done, especially for if they wanted to reintroduce Infinite with the same kind of powers. I think this is a really good way of handling it.
Well, would you look at that? Nice work, Tails. Sonic the Hedgehog is free as a bird.
Freedom never felt so good.
Espio, how much longer? This is a long couple of minutes.
I've almost got it. Just need a little more time.
Eggman, you might as well just hand over that lens before things get rough.
Rough like this? Get away from that cage, lizard.
Oh!
Espio, are you okay?
Here's a little tidbit for you to ponder while you enjoy my lovely cage, Vector. Your grimy little helpers only made it into the base because I instructed Sage to let them in. As if a ridiculous little wannabe ninja could infiltrate my defenses.
Oh no, you shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that.
Unnecessary.
Well, Espio, you did let Rouge steal one of your kunai earlier.
All right.
Wow, unnecessary.
Attention.
Dogpiling.
Great. Sage is back.
Stage 5 protection protocol initiated.
I do think it's interesting. I think it's interesting, and I don't know if this is for the sake of, like, there being no overlap, but I wonder why they're so hell-bent on, because I mean, from Vector's perspective, I can kind of understand, right? Why he wouldn't want Sage to hear that the astroscopic lens thief is infinite, because she wasn't allowed to access the Phantom Ruby's files, right? She knows Eggman's entire campaign history, as said in Frontiers. I wonder if he specifically is not allowing her to know about the events of Forces. That would be a very interesting development, right? Like, she has no idea who Infinite is. She has no idea that Eggman almost took over the world and, like, fucked it up. I almost wonder if that's on purpose. And if it is, I mean, it has to be, right? It has to be on purpose. More so what I wonder is, why, right? Like, in a sense, I can maybe understand why he wouldn't want her to know this, right? But on the other hand, it's like keeping Infinite from her and keeping the Phantom Ruby from her. That's interesting. That's a really interesting detail.
Blast doors. There really is no escape now.
Hey, Dr. Eggman. Before we make any rash decisions here, or engage in any kind of disagreement that might end up causing hurt feelings, or, severe lacerations, there is one thing I don't understand.
Have you not already stalled for enough time, Gumshoe? Do you not see that it was all for nothing?
But that's what I'm talking about. My theory of the lens thief being infinite is just that.
A theory?
The last time we saw him, he had, kind of died in battle, remember?
Did he?
As I recall, no body was ever recovered. And given my former lieutenant's resourcefulness, tenacity, and truly astonishing ability to hold a grudge, you'll have to consider me not at all surprised if he turns up very much alive.
Doctor, this
Infinite.
According to my files, he was a black-furred jackal with white dreadlocks, in possession of a metallic mask decorated with a black lightning bolt over his right eye. Is that accurate?
Yes, Sage. Why do you ask?
So she does
Because
know.
he just appeared directly above our current location.
Oh!
Take cover! The ceiling's coming down! No!
I feel like this is a small thing. Not a huge fan of how that was written, because it feels like that feels a little comedic, right? It feels like they were kind of trying to be comedic with it, but it also just feels kind of clunky. And that's like the best word I can use to describe it, where it's just like, yeah, Sage describing what it is Infinite looks like. I don't know what the point of it is, because she knows for sure that is Infinite, right? So she doesn't need to describe that to Eggman and be like, oh, this is him, right? Because he's up there. It's just like, well, just say he's up there. Like, because if you have access to those files, that means that wasn't restricted from you, right? The Phantom Ruby was restricted from you. Infinite's files were not, so Eggman should kind of know that you know who Infinite is. You don't need to explain or ask what it is he looks like. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like that was using the time to describe what Infinite's design is, like almost top to bottom. It's like, oh, he has this, that, right? He has heterochromia, correct? He has a blue eye or like a yellow eye with red maybe from the mask, right? And like under, I don't know. It's just like, okay, you don't need to describe fully what he looks like. You can just say he's on top of, I don't know. I think that could have been condensed or just written a little differently to really make it more impactful, because it is like a, oh, he's on top of us moment, but I don't know. I feel like it was just a little clunky in terms of writing.
Looking pretty pregnable from here, Doc.
There's debris dropping everywhere. Get to the walls and take cover. The walls, people. The only good thing about still being locked up in a cage
there he is
that I'm protected from the hailstorm of concrete raining down from above. And what's a hard-boiled detective to do in a situation like this? Well, they say it's never really over until the Eggman sings. Something like that. And I don't
love that.
Singing. So that means it's go
Nah,
time.
it's not over.
Except I'm not going anywhere. But I can use my voice to help out my friends.
Oh. Yeah.
Tails, quick!
Tails, watch out!
Ooh.
Oh, thanks, Tangle. You pulled me out from under that boulder just in time. Guess your one tail is faster than my two, huh?
Oh, don't thank me yet. Feels like the whole base is destabilizing.
Whisper! Put that variable wisp on to good use!
I'll take out as many of the smaller rocks as I can.
Dude, okay. Again, small aside, this has nothing to do with the episode, but I'm just thinking about it. If in the next game, or whatever, we ever get to play as Whisper with her variable wisp on, and it plays similarly to, or even better than the Avatar in Forces, because I gotta be honest, I think the Avatar was like probably one of my favorite, he was probably my favorite character to play as in Forces, just because of the Wisp-ons, because like he wasn't as fast as Sonic, so the levels didn't feel like they finished or ended as quickly as classic and modern Sonic. So like, I don't know, I feel like Forces was very designed mostly around the Avatar in a lot of ways. I mostly enjoyed their levels. And so like if we had platforming open zone challenges with Whisper with like a variable wisp on, and you can like use, I don't know, lightning wisp to grapple onto and whatever. I don't know. I like to think that in terms of gameplay design, if they were ever to want to bring the Avatar gameplay style back, Whisper would be the one that they could do that with, for sure.
Espio, where's Charmy?
We're over here, Vector. I've got him.
Espio grabbed me and did a ninja flip. It was awesome. Whoa.
Is it me, or are they... I feel like this episode is doing something the others didn't. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like they're describing what's happening a lot more in this one than in the other episodes. This one feels a little bit more like, we did the thing, right? Like, Tails just said, oh, thanks, Tangle, for saving me at the last moment from the thing that was falling with your tail. It's like, yeah, I know, I just did that. You don't... Now, why did you say it like that, right? And then Charmy explaining like, oh, this is what Espio did to save me. You guys didn't see that, but that's how he saved me. And it's just like, you don't have to, I don't know. I get it because a lot of action is happening that we can't see, right? But I feel like it was done better in the Sage episode, where Vector and Charmy fought against the Egg Hammer. To my recollection, I could be wrong, but I feel like there was no real dialogue where it's just like, oh, I did this to hit the guy, right? It was more of a, I'm about to do this. I feel like describing what you're about to do or hinting at what you're gonna do and then having the sound effects is more than enough to get the listener to imagine what's happening rather than be more explicit about it. I feel like I have a few more issues with the writing in this episode than in any of the other ones, which is very interesting, especially because we're coming to the end, and the whole series has been very well written so far. And I don't know if it's just because there's less narration from Vector, so we have to rely on the characters to explain it. But I don't know, I feel like you can do it better than this, though. I feel like there is a way to do this without having to rely on narration or exposition or explanation, really. Because the sound design so far in the series has been really good, so I don't know why they couldn't handle the writing a little differently. I don't know. It's a small complaint. It's not really devastating or like, oh, the show sucks now because I think one episode is written not the greatest.
There's no more ceiling.
Sonic? What is that?
You mean that jet black glow in the sky?
Yeah, the one that's getting closer and making me want to jam some of these rocks into my ear holes.
Oh, I think we can guess.
There he is. They have the...
SBO? Is that?
Yes, that's Infinite, Tangle. Back from the dead and looking especially irritated.
Irritated is right, but more worrying than that.
I guess it makes sense that Tingle wouldn't know.
More dangerous than ever. The last time he showed up, he took out whole armies. And all we have are the 7 of us. And none of us have Commander Tower on speed dial.
Why would you want him anyway? Didn't the Eggman Empire take down Gun? So who cares if you have Commander Tower on? Who cares? Also, I feel like, and this could just be me, right? You also have a little bit less to worry about, because he's just one guy who can shapeshift into other characters. He doesn't have an entire army of phantom copies for you guys to deal with, right? Unless the astroscopic lenses each can create their own... That's entirely possible, right? That it's not just changing him, but like each astroscopic lens can create its own like copy. Then sure, maybe you have something to worry about. But you don't have a whole army to deal with. Like you don't have what Sonic had to do in Forces, like fight Shadow, Chaos, whatever. I feel like your odds are a little better than they were last time.
Chaotix.
I don't know why I do that every time.
My most trusted and accomplished lieutenant.
Dr. Eggman.
I'm given to understand that you've done me the favor of collecting the rest of the astroscopic lenses. Yes?
Done you the favor, have I?
Indeed. Now, be a good soldier and hand them over so that I may complete the set.
Ah, yes. I see you have the last one right there.
Yes, indeed, my esteemed subordinate. And once I've collected...
Give me that.
Hey, that's mine! Return that lens at once!
I gotta say, Liam O'Brien as Infinite, holy crap, did a fantastic job. One of my favorite performances, I think, in a Sonic game. Liam O'Brien just had this commanding voice and this, I don't know, just very, very, just awesome sounding voice. Infinite is being played by Alejandro Saab now, and he is also doing a great job. There is a little, you can kind of tell that there's a bit of a difference. I feel like Alejandro can't go maybe as deep as Liam did, but it like the laugh is good. He gets the vibe right of like how it is that Infinite says things, right? And it's just because like I'm listening for what the differences are. But really, I mean, it's I'm not gonna say it's 1-to-1, but it is really good. It is a really good interpretation of the original work by Liam O'Brien. I think that he's doing in the few lines I've heard so far, in the like laughter, the modulation is on point, but I mean, that's post-production effects. But I think he's doing a great job. I think that this is a really, really good performance. He's also doing Gemerald, which I think is very funny. He's voicing both Gemerald and Infinite. I think that's excellent.
There he goes. Right back up the way he came. It's probably too much to ask that Infinite could just take off and, you know, leave us alone now.
Way too much to ask, yeah.
I can't believe it! Betrayed by one of my most loyal soldiers! And it's all because of you, Vector.
Huh? Me? How is any of this my fault? The Chaotix were just minding our own business when this whole lens heist thing fell into our laps.
Whether that's true or not, I'm still going to take it out of your hide. Do you realize how much power could have been mine if I'd gotten the whole set of lenses?
No, no one does.
I guess it makes sense, because I'm thinking about this, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, I guess Infinite never technically betrayed Eggman, but I feel like it was pretty obvious that they weren't on the same page about things. Which is, I mean, like, again, when Infinite was defeated, he was still technically working with Eggman, so I guess it would make sense that he would think of Infinite as still being on his side. But it always felt like Infinite was his own thing, for sure. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. Like, at first, yeah, he was a mercenary for hire, but then, like, it just became a very personal thing for him. Like, they felt like two very separate, just working together for the sake of this forces, right? Hey, forces. Didn't even mean to say that.
Because we don't know what they do.
Doctor?
All of you! Every last one of you has been nothing but a royal thorn in my backside since I had the displeasure of making your acquaintance. I'm going to bring the rest of this ruined, useless base down on your heads!
Doctor.
Oh yeah? You and what army? The one we've been slamming into bits and pieces on the regular?
Forget the army. I'll drive you all like tent pegs and I'll do it myself!
Doctor!
What, Sage? What do you want?
Long-range telemetry has detected a floating platform concealed inside a cloud, suspended approximately 2,000 meters overhead.
Yes.
Floating platform?
It appears to consist of a control deck affixed to a vertical scaffold.
Please, get to the point.
In which there seems to be the entire set of astroscopic lenses stacked like magnifiers in a giant telescope.
Like magnifiers? Oh!
Wow!
Uh-oh.
Let me guess. You're focusing a beam of power directly onto Infinite.
That would be correct, Miles Prower. The platform tracks his movements on the ground below.
And I'm betting as long as all the lenses are focused on him,
He'll be constantly connected to whatever power they give him.
Hey, I'm awesome at breaking stuff. I could fly up there and try to break the thing.
That might not be a bad idea. Charmy and I can both fly and...
Forget it! Not till we know more about what we're dealing with.
Watch out.
You don't need to.
I could obliterate all
Oh,
of
welcome
your
back.
heartbeat, but that would limit your suffering.
He's doing a really good job.
Suffering.
Therefore, I will explain to those who do not know me exactly why you are about to meet your doom.
Oh, God.
Whoa, there's like 6 Infinites. They're all over the place. How's he doing that?
It's the lenses. Instead of making duplicates of us,
It's
he's
making duplicates of him.
himself.
Yep.
Once, long ago, I was a mercenary commander. Along with my Jackal squad, I accomplished greatness. Until I realized that I saw no value in the world. Everywhere I looked, I beheld nothing but worthless people, bent on achieving meaningless goals for petty, shallow reasons.
Tangle, use your tail. There's an Infinite right next to you.
Whoa, my tail went right through that one.
Okay, so it is an illusion.
The real Infinite's gotta be here. Get him. Take them all down. Charming, sting attack. Sonic, homing attack that one. Espio.
I kind of... Okay, see, this is a great use of what I was talking about earlier. This is a great way to be able to imagine what's happening without necessarily being like, oh, thank you for doing the thing that you did. Like, this is Vector sort of coordinating them. Like, okay, you do this, you do that. Like, it's a little silly in that, like, I think that in a game it would never go like this, but at least for an audio drama, this feels more organic. This feels a lot more like what you should do in terms of writing for something like this, because again, the other just feels a little bit like like a little on the nose, whereas this, Vector commanding them to do things and then them doing it in an action sequence makes more sense, right? Because like it is in the moment. It's not like reflecting back. It's like you're doing this because I'm instructing you to do it and because like we're working together, right? I feel like this is a way better manner in which to describe or like showcase what's happening in a scene when you can't see what's happening.
Try your kunai. Fire away with mercy.
My contempt for the world turned to hatred. There was nothing left to salvage anymore. I wanted to see it all destroyed. Dr. Eggman gave me that chance.
Well, now I think that's overstating things a bit.
The real Infinite's gotta be here somewhere.
I've got his heat signature.
Infinite describing his backstory in this episode is very interesting to me because I don't dislike it, right? in Forces, there were the game, right? There were bits and pieces of information about who Infinite used to be, right? We knew he was a mercenary for hire, we knew he was the leader of Squad Jackal, but we didn't really know what any of that meant, right? Like, that's stuff that we saw in episode Shadow. And in Forces proper, he just kind of shows up and there's no real explanation as to who he is or what's going on. Mostly because there was a tie-in comic that sort of explains that. It goes into like very superficial explanations of who Squad Jackal was and like why it was that Infinite ended up joining Eggman and everything. I think that this is a way better way to sort of explain it. Again, I still hold a little bit the opinion that it kind of sucks that it's constrained to this audio drama, but I think that it's better that we have it here. If this is Infinite's return, right? If this is officially where we see Infinite again for the first time, if we're going to see him again in the future, if this is where he returns, I think it's a good idea to have the explanation of what happened before Forces here at the very least, right? Because again, he's not going into super mega detail about like what Squad Jackal was, who his friends were, whatever, but it is explaining what Infinite's motivation is. Because even in the game, it just seems like, oh, all he wants is destruction, and you can kind of glean that from just the game. But it is sometimes nice to have the understanding and a little bit of the exposition as to like why, right? Like, okay, yeah, you want destruction, but sometimes destruction, you're not like the end, right? Where you're this astronomical, like almost Lovecraftian entity that like is not really a person, you're just a being. Like Infinite starts out as a person, right, in this world. And so to hear why it is that he hates the world and he's just like, you know what, I just want to destroy everything. Even that as a brief explanation is better than not having this, right? I think that the setup is a little, again, clunky, where it's just like, I'm going to explain who I am for those that don't know me, right? Because it's just like, again, very tongue-in-cheek, wink at the camera kind of thing. But in universe, it does kind of make sense, since it appears that Tangle and Whisper don't exactly know who Infinite is, right? Which I'm kind of surprised by, because he was such a huge part of why Eggman took over the world in the first place. It's kind of weird that they wouldn't know who he is, but at the same time, if Tangle and Whisper are only fighting on the war sort of behind the scenes or like not on the front lines, it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't know who he is. So him sort of explaining himself to everyone else in the scene, right? I think having this moment to explain Infinite's motivations and who he is, and like for people who don't know him, I think it's a good use of the scene, right? I think that the setup for it is a little clunky, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst way that they could have set this up. I think that it's pretty passable. I think that there was a better way that it could have been done, but there's certainly a worse way it could have been done. So I'm not too bothered by it. This is more so an observation than a complaint. It's more like, oh, I think they could have done this better for sure. And like, again, I like that they are reintroducing the character as well as reintroducing his motivations, which were not made clear in the original game if you've only played Forces and not read the comic. Because again, in the comic, it's not really explained that well why he wants to destroy the world or like why he wants to team up with Eggman, especially when the rest of his team don't really agree. It seems as though they don't really agree anyway. So yeah, this is a very interesting scene, because I'm kind of torn on it, but I more like it than not like it. I do like this more than I don't, and I'm glad that it's here rather than not being here at all.
But he's moving too fast to target.
Eggman gifted me the power of the Phantom Ruby, and I became transcendent. No longer a simple mercenary.
Oh, dude! He performed that line beautifully. That was like the closest to the original Infinite I've heard. Oh my god, I gotta hear that again.
Eggman gifted me the power of the Phantom Ruby, and I became transcendent. No longer a simple mercenary.
No longer a simple mercenary. Like, I think that the more you sort of try and get that bassiness as Infinite, I think that, because that's the thing, Infinite doesn't really have, like, the boomiest, bassiest voice at all times, but he does go down there a lot, right? Like, he may start up here, but he ends down here. And I feel like Alejandro's take on it doesn't always end down here. But sometimes when he does, oh my god, it's so good.
I grew into something more, something far greater.
Keep going, everybody!
It's good.
We gotta bring it down before things get worse. Tangle, look out!
Tangle, watch it!
Sorry, Tails.
With
Oops.
the ruby's power, I could topple armies, crush heroes. I could raise the world and replace it with whatever I wanted. I became an irresistible force.
Hey.
And I hated the dullards and weaklings who opposed me, believing themselves to be immovable objects. Especially Sonic.
Everybody, get shoulder to shoulder!
To be fair, that's something else that I've talked about this, I think, in the rewritten that I did on Sonic Forces. Especially with the context of Episode Shadow, right? Which granted was just DLC, but it's important DLC because it's like before all the events of Forces happen. This contextualizes who Infinite is and like a little bit, right? It kind of makes sense because ultimately it is Sonic who defeats Infinite and like fights him a couple times and defeats him. I feel like his anger is kind of misplaced though, because it's just like, if anything, I feel like your anger should be directed at Shadow, because he was the one that like humiliated you before you became Infinite, because you defeated Sonic in your first encounter with him. I don't know, that always seemed a little strange to me. Like, I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand why you have this hatred of Sonic. I just feel like, given the events of Episode Shadow, you almost work better as a Shadow hater, just because he was the one to humiliate you initially? I don't know. But his goal or his job was always to defeat Sonic, and I understand that, but I don't know. It just never made 100% sense to me, because it's just like, yeah, I feel like you kind of hate Shadow a little bit more than you hate Sonic, though. Or you should anyway.
You don't hit anyone accidentally.
Except maybe Eggman.
Hey!
Time after time, Sonic threw himself in the way of my plans like a massive wrench in the gears. Why did he have to challenge my strength and the power I was entitled to? Because of those arrogant fools and the worthless cronies who aided them. And Dr. Eggman taking back my power, I lost the day and only escaped thanks to a final bit of deception.
He sure is talking an awful lot, SPO.
That he is. And I'm getting more and more nervous with every word.
Yeah, it's like Infinite's waiting for something.
Aimlessly, I wandered the land.
Oh, that's kind of brilliant. Hold on. That's kind of brilliant. Because this whole series, right, this whole show has been about Vector sort of stalling for time, right, by telling us this story. Because he didn't need to. He didn't need to tell Eggman and Sonic the story. But the whole point is that he is telling it to them in order to stall so that their friends can come and save them. So in this episode, for Infinite, who is now, I can assume, the main antagonist of this show, to also do the same thing where he's like telling his story as a way to stall for something that he's going to do is, dude, that's chef's kiss. It's so good. That is such good storytelling. And also, I have to say, I don't know why, but I kind of adore the idea of a character like Infinite, who again is a character we haven't seen in almost a decade. Someone who is in the back of the fandom's mind as like, oh yeah, he was a thing and like, we wouldn't be bothered if he came back, really. To return in a Chaotix-centric show, their whole thing is that they're detectives, right? And they have to figure out like, okay, well, who's doing this? And then it turns out to be a villain we haven't seen in a long time, especially when this show also showcases characters that we haven't seen in a long time, like Vanilla, like Gemerald. The Babylon Rogues a bit more recently with Crossworlds, Tangle and Whisper, technically as well, not only with Crossworlds, but in the comics, I'm sure they're still relevant. Commander Abraham Towers, who, again, Shadow Generations, or Dark Beginnings more specifically featured him, but like in game form, we haven't seen him since Shadow, right? We kind of heard about him in Shadow Generations, but he wasn't there. But to bring all these old characters who we haven't seen in a while back, and then have the ultimate payoff be a villain who we haven't seen in a long time, Oh, it's so good. I don't know, I love the idea of it, because it's just like, it is a side thing, and it's the Chaotix ultimately who figure this out, and I don't know, it's really, really good. I love the concept of that.
Known, anonymous, stripped of the ruby's power, and of my rightful place as the world's destroyer. A pitiful thing I have become. Exiled, disgraced. Until one day I received a gift. A benefactor led me to a rare and invaluable artifact. An astroscopic lens. The only one that had not been previously discovered, and either locked up or put on display. I soon mastered the lens's ability to create illusions, and used it to begin liberating the rest of the set. Now I possess them all. The lenses amplify my life force. And I intend to use them to bring myself back to full power.
There's a pleasant thought.
Now I shall extract the revenge most brutal on all those who would oppose me. On all those who ever stood.
Who is this benefactor? I feel like they're not going to explain that. I feel like they're straight up not going to say in this show. I feel like they're going to skimp over that little detail, right? He says, a benefactor gifted me one of the astroscopic lenses, which makes sense, right? He starts going after the rest after having one, but he says a benefactor. Who is this benefactor? Why? Why would they want Infinite to have this power again? Because they know what he's going to do with it. But why do they want him to do it? This gives me chills a little bit, right? Like this gives me mini chills, because it's just like, okay, there is someone behind the scenes helping you, and I don't know who it is. And the Kitsch. Mr. Kitsch. It's gotta be, right? I'm not, okay. I'm only half joking, but it's gotta be, right? It's gotta be Mr. Kitsch. I don't know. For what purpose, I don't know. But I feel like there's something there, right?
Now I shall extract the revenge most brutal on all those who would oppose me. On all those who ever stood against me. On every living thing on the face of the planet!
But that's ridiculous, Infinite. You want to destroy everything? Then you'd be alone. What's the point of conquering a world if there's nothing of the world left to rule?
You literally created a sun at the end of Forces where you would have destroyed everything. Was that not exactly what you were going to do? As I recall, boom. It's over. The end, or whatever the hell you say in that cutscene.
Oh, the world will perish, Eggman, but not immediately. Not before I have created a never-ending nightmare in which to torment the survivors.
Well, now you're just not making sense. You can't destroy the world if we're all trapped in a never-ending nightmare, and the nightmare can't be never-ending if the world gets destroyed.
You crocodile. You and your pathetic detective agency.
Just the idea that Vector catches him in a fallacy, and he just goes like, you. That's really funny. That is even Vector, who's not always the brightest dude in the moment, because I think that's a really interesting thing about Vector as a character, right? He's not unintelligent. He's not always the smartest guy in the moment. He's usually pretty smart in retrospect, right? Like when he thinks back to things, he's like, oh, I got it, right? He has his suspicions of things, but he doesn't always know. Most of the time he gets caught off guard very easily. But for him in this moment to like catch him in a logical fallacy so quickly, and for Infinite to just be like, he's right. It's just really, the concept of it again is just really, really funny because he's right. But at the same time, I still think that this is a very devious plan. Like, I'm not gonna even sugarcoat it. This is a better written Infinite, because already there were inklings of this kind of Infinite in Forces, right? He is someone who enjoys suffering. He is someone who enjoys destruction, right? I'm kind of surprised Eggman is surprised by this at all. But here, he's like laying it out bare. He's just like, I'm going to not only destroy you guys, but I'm going to set it up so that you slowly perish. Like, you are going to suffer until everything is destroyed. That's straight up evil. Like, that goes beyond the end. The end just wants to destroy everything. Point blank, I don't care. It's not about suffering. It's about being nothing. Infinite is like the other coin of that, where it's just like, oh no, I want you to hurt. Like, this is not gonna be. I want to destroy you, but this is not gonna be quick. You're gonna feel this, and I want you to feel this. Oh, I gotta love it. You gotta love villains who are just bastards. And at the same time, like, I love a good combo, right? I love a good combo of you're just a bastard, and like, you don't need a backstory, a sob story backstory to really explain why. But I also do love complex villains, right? I love tragic, complex villains, kinda like Gerald Robotnik was, kind of. Even Metal Sonic to an extent, it's just like his goal isn't necessarily a robot kingdom, it's not necessarily to rule the world. More than anything, priority numero uno is defeat Sonic, right? And then if I take over the world, that's awesome, right? But number one, it's I want to beat him because that's what I was created to do, and it transcended my programming, and now it's a personal thing. That's a little bit more nuanced than someone who just wants to destroy the world for the sake of destroying it. It's also not super complex. I know, I realize that. And then you have like characters like, I don't know, Merlina, right? Who is one of the more nuanced villains in a Sonic game, where like, it's not about destroying the world. If anything, it's to preserve the world, to make sure it never ends, right? Like, she's honestly kind of the opposite of what Infinite is, but also in like not a healthy way. And that's very complex, that's very nuanced in terms of a motivation. So I love a healthy balance of all those things. Sometimes I like it when you explain why you're a bad guy. Sometimes I like it when you don't, right? Sometimes I like just being evil for the sake of it. It's nice. I love having that balance.
You thought you could interfere with my grand scheme, with my vengeance. But you are too late.
Hey, where'd all the Infinite copies go? They just vanished.
There, in the center of the rubble. That's the real Infinite.
What's all that black energy floating around him?
Now I have the power of the lenses. And I am unstoppable!
All right, new plan. I hereby deputize all of you.
What now?
You're all hereby inducted into my army, which means you all have to do as I command. And I command you to fight alongside me.
You have got to be kidding.
Oh, look, Sonic, Infinite's clearly too big a threat to let him go unchecked. And if you and your little cohorts will just follow my commands, he'll be beaten in no time.
Forget it.
Come on, you, the Chaotix, the Lemur, and the Wolf over there. Surely all of you, united under my banner, can beat one miserable jackal.
You wanted to drive us like tent pegs, you big meanie! Why would we help you at all?
I try to be reasonable, but does anyone appreciate it?
No!
Fine. I'll be taking my leave then, and all you little irritants can fight this out amongst yourselves. Sage, turn off the lights on your way out.
Yes, Doctor.
What? Eggman's just leaving? I can't believe he turned tail and
Peace.
run like this.
Really? I
I
can.
can.
Before you go, Dr. Eggman, allow me to deliver a final bit of wisdom.
What does it mean that all that black floaty energy stuff is gathering around Infinite's fist? Oh, I get it. When he said wisdom, what he really meant was...
Infinite powered up and took out Eggman.
Whoa,
Is he dead?
punch! Eggman actually made it over the horizon!
Don't worry, Father. I'll find you.
Oh.
Guess that takes care of Eggman and Sage.
Guys, why is Infinite just staring at us like that?
Probably deciding which of us to swat next.
The power coming off of Infinite was palpable as he glowered down at us, like a thundercloud looking for the perfect patsy to nail with a lightning bolt. Is this really goodbye? Is it the end of the Chaotix Detective Agency? What unimaginable power does Infinite now wield? Will SBO ever live up to his own expectations? And will Charlie ever figure out his role on the team? Tune in next time for the shocking conclusion to The Case of the Gesticulating Jackal.
Gesticulating?
Give me a break, Vector.
I'm a little stressed, Sonic. You come up with a title for once.
I must say, I'm a tiny bit impressed.
Impressed at what an awesome team we are?
No. Impressed that this much of my time has been wasted by a gaggle of loathsome little parasites. Goodbye.
Okay. To recap, I suppose. Not a huge fan of the beginning to middle portion of this. Again, some of the writing is a little clunky in this episode, more than I noticed than in other episodes. I feel like in other episodes, a lot of it flowed a lot better, and I think that might have been the advantage of retrospect, again, because it's a story that's being told in present day about events that have already happened, whereas now we're in this is happening right now mode. And I feel like that's a little bit more difficult, especially when you don't have constant segments of Vector explaining things as the narrator. You still have some of those segments, not many of them, right? And that's very funny at the end that he goes back to doing it and everybody can hear him. But I think that the second that it's revealed that it's Infinite, that's when the episode ramps up again. It's nice to see Tangle and Whisper back. I like that it wasn't just that one episode. I'm glad that they're back. To have everybody here reunited, I think, is really nice. I genuinely don't know where they're going with the conclusion of this series. I don't know what's about to happen. Even though I could predict, Phantom Ruby, even though, I didn't realize that until the moment, right? Until the moment that they were with Sage. There are bits and pieces where you can assume, oh, maybe this is going to happen. Maybe this is where they're going with this. This, considering we're so close to the ending of this, obviously I feel like Infinite has to be defeated at the end. Obviously, there's no way they're not going to do that. But I'm more assuming because this seems like it's taking place before Crossworlds, and you know that everyone's okay in Crossworlds. Although, that is giving me second thoughts too, right? Because I know I said that, maybe it was Mr. Kitsch who was the benefactor, because he is a little suspicious. We haven't heard from him in a while. And there's no way this would happen. I can't imagine why this would be the case. But I almost worry that the benefactor is Dodonpa. You know what I mean? There's no way. Dodonpa always has seemed like a very neutral force in this world, where it's I'm not good or bad. I'll help whoever the hell, just so long as it means getting my racer data. So I don't know why he would even want to help Infinite in this situation. But I also don't know what's in it for Mr. Kitsch if it ends up that it is him. Another possibility is Tori, but I really doubt it would be Tori because it seems like she cares about getting them. But maybe it was. Actually, now that I think about it, that would be something, wouldn't it? I don't want to believe that it's Tori, but it kind of makes sense when you think about it, right? Because in the episode Assault on Gun Base X, her reasoning for sending the Chaotix on this mission, right, was the hopes that they would fail upward and basically help them get the lenses by them sort of being distractions or bait. We know, or we don't think that you can do this by yourselves, but we think you can get us closer to getting the lenses back, right? And so I'm wondering if this isn't also a case of hey, I know that you would have interest enough in these things and the ability to steal them and get them all in one place. Once you do that, I know Sonic can take care of you, meaning all the lenses are in one place, meaning Gun can take them back and use them as or not use them, but just keep them in their files or whatever. And so that's also entirely possible. I do wonder if maybe that's where they're going with this. It's exciting though. Again, I think that the writing, once Infinite shows up, is very, very good. Again, with the exception of how it is that he introduces his backstory, that's a little clunky. I'm fine with it though. And again, just reintroducing Infinite as a villain, I think is great. And like this new power that comes from the astroscopic lenses is also very interesting because like I said, it's not exactly what the Phantom Ruby did, but it's an approximation that brings with it its own powers, right? Like they're talking about this like dark glow around his fist, and I don't know if that like just augments his powers or like what exactly it is that the lenses do, because we're getting like bits and pieces of it. We saw that Eggman was able to teleport using one of the lenses, right? What else can you do with them? What happens? Because again, having the lenses all stacked up against each other and focused on someone amplifies their power. It amplifies the power to the subject. So whatever one lens can do, it's very Chaos Emerald-esque, right? Where it's just like, yeah, you get a lot of power with just one Chaos Emerald, but if you have all of them, like you get a lot of power. And so I even wonder if they're going to let him keep the astroscopic lenses, right? Like, sure, he gets defeated, but if they were to want to bring Infinite back at any point, they could always just have him keep at least one lens, right? Where it's just like, oh, the rest are safe, but like, he has one and he got away with the one, right? That's also entirely possible. And I wouldn't even be mad if that's how it happened. That leaves the door open to Infinite returning with this new power, right? It's just, he doesn't have all of them, and he still gets to keep the power from just one, which already seems like a lot of power to be able to turn into whoever, and like that, you're always on your toes because you're like, is this the real person or not? Like this whole episode, I was like, oh God, which one of you is it? Which one of you is it? Ends up that none of them were it, right? Like, I was worried it was gonna be Eggman. I was worried it was Sage. I was worried it was like any one of Sonic's friends, right? That showed up. I was like, oh, it's gotta be one of you, right? Also, there are a couple of loose ends that they have to be explored in the finale, right? Rouge's part in this whole thing, because she's been investigating this too. What's she going to do when she comes into play? Is Tori going to come back? I don't necessarily see Commander Towers coming back for the last episode. I don't really see a need for him to, but Tori for sure has to show up in the last episode, right? I feel like she needs to, again, just to describe or to showcase if she was involved with Infinite at all, or like her getting the lenses back, something. She's gotta be in the last episode. So, dude, there has not been an episode I'm looking forward to more than the last episode of this. Like, every single episode has been a banger. And I keep looking forward to the next episode, but this is one where I'm like, I can't wait. And that makes me kind of glad that I'm recording this so close to when the next episode comes out, because I get to experience that very, very soon. But yeah, if you enjoyed that, please join me for the last episode of the Chaotix Casefiles. It's been a great journey. It's been a nice thing to just sit down and enjoy and watch and hang out with you guys. And hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. If you have, share it with someone you think might enjoy it. Do all the engagement things, like, comment, and subscribing if you haven't already. If you so choose, obviously you are free to do whatever you wanted to, but I do appreciate you coming on this journey with me throughout the 8 episodes so far, because we also listened to episode 0. But next time we see each other, it will be the last episode, the 9th episode, which is episode 8 of the Chaotix Casefiles. This has been a wild joyride. I'm very happy overall with how the series has gone, and it's so crazy that this is like, dude, 4 hours long. How long is this show? It's up there in length, and I love it. I think it's hilarious. Just as a closing statement, the Chaotix Casefiles is longer than Sonic than Sonic Forces. The entirety of the Chaotix Casefiles is in and of itself longer than the runtime of an any percent run of Sonic Forces. Because on average, that's like 3 or 4 hours at most. This is already 2 episodes is 1 hour, right? So this is about as long, if not longer, than it would take you to beat Sonic Forces. And I always make fun of it for its length, because it's a really short mainline Sonic game. But man, an audio drama being longer than you is devastating. Anyway, I'll see you guys for the next episode. Stay safe, stay awesome. This is Char5, signing off.